Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Firstly, let me know how the mic is doing. Man, I've been having an absolute hellscape in the old studio. Mic inconsistent as fuck. So let me know how it is here. I'll be in a new studio next year, so I don't think we'll have that problem. What's up, Dave Greenberg? What's up, Dave FXX? Yeah, man, I'm excited for this week. Zamora, let's start off with Zamora, man. Lawson, what are your thoughts on Sean Hockley refereeing KC versus Buffalo? He also did the KC versus Cincinnati game in the playoffs last year. I always see no calls that would hurt KC never get called. Man, honestly, like I would prefer it be him rather than someone else. Let's start there. And also, I'm not trying to duck your question, but we're at the point in this league where we don't have like an elite official. Like, remember when we used to have Gene Steratore and they would always give him the big games and you at least felt you were in comfy hands? And then I'm sure you guys who watch the CBS games, we've betted a lot of games that were on CBS this year. I'm sure you guys heard Gene Steratore's analysis. He always comes on point. He's clear. He's direct. Unfortunately, it makes the wound even bigger because we're betting a half a point is the difference between us getting paid and not. And then he'll come in and say, "You guys just got fucked." And there's absolutely nothing that can be done about it. I am curious to see the officiating. I'd prefer them go no calls than get active. And sometimes we have to make a decision. Do we want the game over reffed or under reffed? I'm going to go under reffed 9 times out of 10. And that's where I'm at. I want the players to decide it. Football's physical, and that's what I want. Because when you over ref games, as bettors, we know it better than anyone. They can completely change the landscape of any game. I mean, that's where I'm at. Yeah, Dave. Dave, appreciate the well wishes, man. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's absolute crazy situation. Um, yeah, at least you're right. Listen, now, do you guys remember? I don't want to go back into the beginning of the year, but did you guys even hear me bitch about the refs once in the first 8-9 weeks of the season? I actually thought they were really good. Did they miss some calls in games we had heavy money on? Of course, but it wasn't anything egregious. And then, like Elise is saying, uh, it just got to the point where it's complete avalanche of shit, and they seem to be getting worse and more confused every single week. So it's week 9, week 10. When did the cliff fall off? You guys tell me. But that's when we had to start talking about them. And I don't like having to talk about them, but let's be realistic. We need to because they have been deciding games. What's up, Gus? What's up, Joe? Joe, great to see you, Joe. John, the Baltimore game scares me. The AFC South has eaten them twice this year. I listen, I came on and did the video and I said I think Stroud's got a puncher's chance. I think the Texans can beat the Ravens. I think people thought I was trolling with that, but I do think this rest will hurt Baltimore more than it helps them. I just do. I don't think them being off a week is going to help. Actually, if you really think about it, their starting offense is off 2 weeks the last time they had a game because very few of the starting offense played against the Steelers. So, Sport 78, yeah, like Nico Collins has been balling. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And I also bring that back to my other analysis. I think CJ Stroud is an elite quarterback already. And what do elite quarterbacks do to wide receivers around them? They elevate them. And then obviously this is a confidence sport. And Nico Collins has confidence now, and he's playing completely different. Would we love Tank Dell out there? Yeah. Is Tank Dell better than Nico Collins? I think so. But at the end of the day, the way Stroud is playing, I just want to count him out. That's why I made the video on Wednesday, and I just wanted to caution people. Like I saw some people getting headstrong saying, oh, Ravens alternative line -20. Get it, boys. Like I just needed to put a little bit of a break and backpedal on all of that. I didn't like that. No, I don't know. Is the rest overblown? Let me bring you back to the last time the Ravens were in this situation. And everyone was calling Dan Campbell an idiot when he played his starters against Minnesota. Do I think he pushed it a little bit too hard? Maybe. But then again, what do the results say? And then the last time the Ravens were in a situation like this, let's remember 6.5, 7, 8-point favorites at home against the Titans team that wasn't really good. I think it was in Vrabel's first or second year. What happened in that game? They started flat in the first half. They couldn't recover. Offense was without rhythm. And I don't like doing the trend betting thing. So I get it. Like, if you want to throw punches about that, I get it. But that's the last time I've seen them have rest. And also, like, how seriously were they even taking that Steelers game? And I do think we need to understand, like, for instance, yes, every single facet of offensive football involves a little bit of rhythm. Like, we know that. But is it just me, or do the Ravens have one of the most rhythm dependent offenses? Like, we're seeing RPOs, a shitload of play action, double moves by wide receivers, a bunch of choice routes anytime someone sends a pressure at Lamar Jackson. I don't know, man. I don't think this is as simple as the 49ers getting that rest. And honestly, like, I don't think the Ravens would want to rest the way they're playing. I mean, they just came out off like a blowout of the Dolphins. And do you really want to get off the train when they're riding that hard? I don't know. I felt like the rest situation benefits the 49ers more than the Ravens, especially when you look at the injury situation. Yeah, like, dude, I don't end sport. Like, I know, and I don't even want to go back and say, oh, the Titans did it, so the Texans are going to do it. Like, no, like, I hate that junk. That junk is lazy. It's a complete different team. It's a complete different team with a complete different offensive coordinator. But maybe I am getting a bit too excited for this, because I do think this could be an equalizer for the Texans. And I do think this comes down to, can the Texans pick up the blitz? And I did a little bit of a deep dive in that week 1 game. And I got to tell you guys something. Now, it's week 1. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Lamar's first game with an offensive coordinator. Let's keep that clear. I'm not trying to get hyperbolic or be dramatic. But I've watched every single Ravens game this whole year. A lot of it on tape, not live, but I've watched every single game. I felt like the defense that played Lamar Jackson the best was the Houston Texans. They were able to keep him in the pocket. Like, they forced him into 2 turnovers. We didn't see those big splash plays that the Ravens have been putting up every single game. Like, the big splash plays this year isn't Lamar Jackson running for like 40 fucking yards on a 3rd and 14. It's them getting down the field and piercing defenses vertically. Like, it's been impressive. I'm not coming in here to say it's not been impressive, but I did like the first game plan from the Houston Texans. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you guys found a better game. Like, I know they lost against the Browns, but didn't they put up a 30 spot against a very good defense? So there's not much we can point to. I felt like the Texans played them best. I do think the Texans have a lot better chance than Green Bay. I do think people are getting a little bit too headstrong, punch drunk about Green Bay this week. Credit to what they did against Big D, and I guess you have to use your reasoning, and this comes down to what you think. And I don't want to be a sour grapes guy. We need to give credit to the Green Bay. We need to give credit to that defense, especially a lot of credit for Jordan Love. Like, I want to give credit to that defense. But you need to ask yourself this question. Was that more Dallas collapsing or Green Bay being a dominant football team? I'm more in the Dallas collapsing camp. I don't know about you guys. That's one thing why I wanted to go live. I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that. That is an interesting. What's up, JJ? What's up, Mr. Madhouse? Yeah, you're right. It was week one of the Monken offense. Like, that's completely fair, completely correct. Zamora 690 sends a super chat. What's up, Brian Webb? Great to see you, man. Zamora sends a $5 super chat. Lawson, I'm down one game in my playoff pick'em versus going Buffalo, Detroit, Baltimore, San Fran. Should I risk this week picking opposite or wait for the next week to do it? Well, firstly, I wouldn't panic. I wouldn't do anything ridiculous. I wouldn't do anything ridiculous because you might be able to pick up on that Chiefs Bills game. You might be able to pick up one. Now, here's the situation. I need to check this. We'll do this later in the show when we check the trend betting. But a lot of people on Patreon are saying most of the money's on the Chiefs. Now, they could be full of shit. I get it. I always look it up Friday night on this show, but I do think you could pick up that Bills Chiefs game, so I wouldn't panic. And I wouldn't do anything crazy. And I am curious what you guys feel about the spread in the Bucks Lions game. But yeah, man, those are the teams I would go with if I was in the pick'em competition. But also, I'm really liking the Texans against the spread. I don't know about you guys. It just sucks betting against the Ravens because we know how good, and we know how once they get up, they go for the jugular. I mean, it's normal to see blowouts in the playoffs, completely normal. But the way the Ravens were blowing teams out this year, especially good teams, man, it wasn't a good year to be betting plus 9.5 against the Ravens. Let's just say that. Yeah, so that is interesting. I do find it interesting that a lot of people are liking the Chiefs this game. I would like to hear a rationale for it. Maybe it's just saying Mahomes is better than Josh Allen. But I don't know. Josh Allen's up and down, and when he's up, and it seems like he's up. And like I've been mentioning this whole year, I'm not high on this Bills team, but let's be real. Everything's breaking their way, and them getting this game at home, I don't think people are talking enough about it. I think that's the difference in this game. Yeah, Calvin, I get it. Yeah, listen, who would you rather go in the trench with? Big Red Andy Reid or Sean McDermott? Yeah, I would probably go with Andy Reid. No, definitely would go with Andy Reid. I wonder if the Bills can run the ball that game. That's one thing that I'm curious about because the Bills have actually been running it really well the last 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, I'm on Buffalo too, man. And if I'm on Buffalo, then I'm surprised. Yeah, because you guys know I've been doubting this Bills team this whole year. But we just have to understand, like, I'll say it again, like, doesn't it feel like everything is stacking up in their direction? They get to play Miami at 8 o'clock at night instead of 1. There's going to be 40, 50 mile per hour winds. NFL moves the game. When was the last time we've seen the NFL move a game? Because weather. So then they get a better environment where Josh Allen can obviously throw it. I think it went from like 40 mile per hour winds to like 12. So obviously that it just feels like the Bills are getting a little bit of luck. And then every single defensive player on the Dolphins got injured the last 4 weeks of the year. And listen, you need luck in this game to be lit the Super Bowl. Like, it's not easy. You need a little bit of luck. I'm not even hating. I'm not buying the Chiefs are back either. Yandel, you're right, man. I didn't want to come on here and say it, but Bills were kind of. If the Steelers made a few more plays, that game could have went down to the end. It could have, but I also I don't think I wasn't impressed with what the Chiefs did against the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins were just kind of on empty going into that game, out of ideas. Well, I do think they've been getting luck. Have the Bills not been getting a little bit of luck the last 4 or 5 weeks of this year? Yeah, what's up, JSOP? What's up, JSOP? Yeah, man, I'm the Bills. I'm looking for someone to give me an argument for the Chiefs. But yeah, haven't seen one yet. I mean, Mahomes magic, that's good enough for me. But okay, let's get to the Patreon questions. Jeremy Will, and we might have a Ravens fan come on the show and yell at me once I finish the Patreon questions. Jeremy Wheel, this should be a good week. Somehow I feel Green Bay can cover but lose. What you think, Lawson? I'm sticking with my guns. I'm going San Fran to win in the cover. I do listen. I understand why people like Green Bay, but this same issues for them are stuff that scares me. Like, I think the 49ers can run the ball on them. And you want one thing that really pissed me off this week. I did my research before I did all three videos. I say, like, okay, 49ers are going to run the ball on Green Bay. I'm not sold on their front seven. And then someone says, well, they're going to have to do it without McCaffrey. McCaffrey's going to be there. So I do think the 49ers can go off for 150. And I do think this bye week will benefit the 49ers. They were absolutely just racking up the injuries. Like Trent Williams was banged up. Like 4 or 5 defensive starters were banged up going into week 17. And now they got the rest. I feel good about it. And I do think we need to give a little bit more credit to this 49ers defense. I know the Cowboys beat up on some bad teams, and I don't know what the stats said at the end of the year, but can ask yourself this question. Do you really believe the Cowboys defense is better than the 49ers? I certainly don't. Yeah, man. I would lay off the Green Bay to cover. I understand the fundamentals if you did it. I don't think this Green Bay team is physical enough. They're playing against maybe the most physical team in the league. Crew 60. Let's make a comeback this weekend, Lawson. Tough to see who's going to show up. Can't wait to hear your take on the games. Best luck to all. Thanks, Crew. Nice to see you, Crew. Uwezo Ross. Hi, Lawson. I need one team I can hammer. Thoughts? I'll let you know. Hammer might not be the word I would use, but I'll tell you which one I think's the best bet on Patreon. Lino Frosto, yo, what's good, Lawson, my guy? How you feeling? How's the family? Will the 9-point dogs bark this weekend? Also, will you have any exclusive Patreon subscriber only top tier college fun soccer degenerate plays this weekend? Me and Dicko would like to know. Have a great weekend and thanks for all the hard work. Peace. What's up, Lino? I will have 3 soccer bets up. Nothing college fun type, nothing along those lines, but we got 3 soccer bets coming up, so we should be there. And yeah, man, thank you. Yeah, and yeah, man, everything's as good as it possibly could be. Unfortunately, I'm going through something outside of this now, but overall, like, I've been pumped with how the YouTube channel's done this year. Thank you to everyone who subscribed on Patreon. I really appreciate it. Moneyline Repo, Lawson, my guy. You got every quarterback throwing for at least 1 touchdown and 170 yards apiece. I'm ready to put 500 on this parlay. Okay, let's back it up. We got Lamar against Houston. Okay, that's chalk. We got Josh Allen against the Chiefs, chalk. Mahomes against the Bills, chalk. Stroud against the Ravens. Stroud. Even if the Texans don't show up, he'll get that check. Am I missing a quarterback? Packers. Okay, Bucks, Lions. The only one I worry about is Baker Mayfield. But you got to think Baker's playing his best ball right now. This Lions secondary does have weaknesses. Like, it's good to have C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. That's definitely helped. I would say that's a pretty good parlay. I don't know how you could get ripped there. The 1 touchdown can be complicated, but that 1 touchdown could be complicated for every quarterback. But the 175 for sure. Charles Kaiser, John Lawson, 4-team, 7-point teaser. Plus 200. 49ers minus 2.5. I like it. Texans plus 16.5. I like it. Bucks plus 13.5. I like it. Chiefs plus 10. I like it. And if there's any team to put on a teaser leg this week, it has to be the Chiefs, right? Even though I think the Bills will win, I think the Bills will cover. We know that Chiefs Bills game is going to come down to one score. We know it is. Like, I would be shocked if the Chiefs lost that game by like 10 points or 9 points. I would be absolutely shocked. So yeah, man, Chiefs are on the teaser lane all this week. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, here we go. Let's get to Alonzo Sanford, man. Ravens to win it all. No one can stop that team for real. That teal ain't no joke. It's his year. About that time, it is feeling like everything's set up for the Ravens. But last time they were in this situation, everyone thought they would win it. The Titans beat them. Money. Okay, so can someone give me the bet distribution of the Bills Chiefs game, please? Okay, Quat. Fucking Browns killed us last week, and I'm ready for the bounce back. Let's get this fucking money, brother. San Fran money. I'm ready to put my savings on it. Your thoughts? I would not put my savings on it. But yeah, it's going to be hard for me not to bet it. I'm still making up my mind because 9.5 is an awful lot in this league. We know that, and we know it's nothing to play around with. Yeah, man. So I do like the 49ers, and I'm not going to get gun shy about it. And we've watched the Packers play this whole year. I know the casual bettors are getting really excited about the Packers now. They had a great game against the Cowboys, but I've seen them play the whole year, man. And that team has serious issues. And that's why I think 49ers can beat their ass. And if there's two teams in this league, actually 3 teams in this league, if they're laying a lot of points, the 4 teams that have been successful are the Dolphins, are the Ravens, are the 49ers, and the Cowboys until last week. So I think you're in good hands with the 49ers. Shanahan has done some people dirty with spreads before, but I don't think this game will even be a conversation. I don't want it to be an easy blowout for the playoffs. We want a little bit of drama, but I think it will be. The Hound lost my guy. Hope all is well with the family. Thank you, man, for the wishes. I appreciate it. Who goes off for the Niners tomorrow night? I feel like Shanahan will expose Quay Walker's weak coverage skills. I expect either Debo or Kittle to have a multiple touchdown game. That's bold. That's bold. And Quay Walker will make a fucking stupid penalty. Anytime he's pressed or he's in like some sort of pressure situation, you see the flags raining down on him. I will go Debo because I also think the Packers are weak at slot corner. And I think we have to see more of Debo going over the middle, like you said. And you're thinking the same thing as me. So I'm going to go Debo. Give me Debo. With Kittle, like the risk with Kittle is if we're talking props, if we're talking touchdowns, the only risk with Kittle isn't him getting open, isn't him being a dog. It's just sometimes like the volume isn't there. Like there's been a lot of games the last 2 years where we see a Kittle 4 catches, 88 yards, 2 touchdown type games, but we don't see the volume. And if we're betting props or doing something along those lines, I want to see the volume. And also, like, I know Jair Alexander looks like he's going to play. The fucking Packers aren't going to let him go over to Debo's side. So he's going to get their second, third string corners. I like Debo to go off. Aaron Hernandez, let's kick some ass this week. Aaron, did you see Antonio Pierce officially the Raiders head coach? I mean, I feel like they made the right decision. And I like, one thing I do like is how he's bringing Tom Coughlin in as like a consultant so he can get his staff. And that's one thing D'Amico did right. He got a good offensive coordinator in Slowick because he worked with him with the 49ers. Like Antonio Pierce hasn't worked that many places. So I don't think he has the Rolodex like D'Amico has from being on the 49ers staff. So I'm excited about that. I feel like the Raiders made the right move. I want to see what offense coordinator is going to be. Then we can get excited. Zamora sends another super chat. Score prediction for KC versus Buffalo, 24-21. 24-21. And for that, like, I know a lot of people like the under in that game. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I like the under all that much. Like, obviously 24 plus 21 is 45. The over-under is 46. But yeah, I get the fundamentals for the under. But when I first saw this game, I was thinking 24-21. And I'm glad a lot of books had it or have it at -2.5. So there can be a bet to be had. Yeah, could be, man. Could be. I do think McCaffrey goes off if we're talking rushing yards. Dick Cheese. John Lawson, I love this show. I'm from Singapore. Can I get a shout out? What's up, Dick? What's up, Dick? Yeah, man. Singapore, crazy country you got there. Like, it's kind of like half libertarian, half authoritarian. What is it, like 50-60% of the residents are like from other places? Yeah, man. Big USA ally down in the Pacific, right? Okay, here we go. And thanks for setting me up with that name, man. Jesus. Hey, bro, looking a bit of a long shot parlay for fun. Which games you think will be my downfall? Baltimore -9.5. San Fran -9.5. Detroit -6.5. KC +3.5. Think the Baltimore -9.5. But if you're going to do like a long shot parlay, I don't have a problem with that. It just depends how the Ravens show up. I want to see if they're in full rhythm. And if they're not, like, Houston's going to cover that game and they got a chance to win it. I like San Fran. The Detroit one, I've been thinking about all week. I've been thinking about it all this week. Like, I feel like Vegas is screaming out for people to take the Bucs. And I get it. 6.5 with a Bucs team that seems to be playing its best football. But, hasn't anyone gotten a little bit tired of doubting the Lions? I know this page hasn't been guilty of it. But hasn't anyone got a little bit sick of it? I remember I was watching one of the playoff games. They were doing a pregame show. Fucking 6 people picked the game. Every single person picked the fucking Rams to win. And I feel like a lot of people were waiting to pounce on Dan Campbell. And the Laporta injury in week 18 gave them a little bit of a reason to do it. I do feel like the Tampa +6.5 is the biggest trap of the week. I'm not betting that game. I don't feel strongly about it, but I do feel like that is a trap Vegas is setting. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people are like just not giving the Lions respect, which is kind of crazy. Like, they have a great record versus the spread. They have a great record win and loss. Like, they got a damn good coach. He's winning games with Jared fucking Goff. Yeah, man, I just feel like a lot of people are waiting to pile on Dan Campbell. I don't know about you guys. Am I being over dramatic here? Like, I'm not trying to be a fanboy, but anyone who tries to do something differently or in their own way, I feel like people just wait in the corner and sharpen the knives. And then once you like fall a little bit, they didn't even fall. They didn't even fall. They just kept winning the fucking games. And then, like, once, like, he makes maybe one mistake, leaving the starters in a bit too long against Vikings, everyone's like, stabbing him in the back, like, acting like he's a fucking idiot. Like, you know how many times we benefited from Dan Campbell doing a fake punt, going for it on 4th down? Like, you know how many times we benefited? We just can't benefit every single time. Like, if you listen, you got to pay a toll eventually. I just wish people would understand that. Yeah, no, Lions. But okay, I get it. Like, Lions didn't look all that good in the second half. But I don't even think they let the Rams score, bros. So I mean, that's pretty fucking impressive. Like, and when you got Stafford, when you got Nakua, when you got Cooper fucking Kupp, I know Higbee got hurt during the game. That was a lot of controversy. A lot of people were like in their feelings about that. But damn, that Rams offense is not an easy out. But yeah, I do think like 6.5 for the Lions is way too much in this game. But it could be a trap because this Lions team isn't something you want to fuck with. And then we've seen this Tampa Bay secondary have problems this year. Remember when Stroud put up like damn near 500 against them? Like I've seen them struggle at times this year. Now the big matchup is like you got Vita Vea, and the Lions have been running it absolutely phenomenal the last 5-6 weeks of the year. Ever since that Chicago out, they got back to basics. They started pounding it, and now they got their full offensive line back. They've been back for 3-4 weeks fully healthy. But you wonder, like, okay, what is the Vita Vea equation here? Like, how is Vita Vea going to affect this Lions run game? Like, I know they push it outside, a lot of outside zone, but still, that's a fucking X factor. If you tell me they're able to block Vita Vea even C+, B-, yeah, I think the fucking Lions could get into the 30s, man. But it's easier said than done. It's a big man. What's up, Lauren? What's up, Lauren? Campbell, yeah, and I do think Campbell's better coach than Bowles. But I am waiting for people to pounce on Dan when he goes for it on 4th down. It's funny, everyone was saying Brandon Staley was a genius, even though he took very good football teams to not even the playoffs. Okay. Yeah, that's like that's most of what the Lions do. Like we're talking like outside zone. Yeah, so I think this is more of a Gibbs game than Montgomery game. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And you talk about a player who's getting better every single week. Fucking Gibbs is a dog, man. Yeah, no, you're right. Like Penei Sewell's probably the best tackle in the league outside of Trent Williams. I know he's on the right side, so he's not going to get as much credit as others, but you're 100% right. 100% right. What's up, Jay Kicks? What's up, Jay? What up, Joe? Yeah, JJ. Well, that's what's interesting. Because, listen, we saw this Lions defense start the season great, like the first 5. Not great, like dominant or anything like that, but we saw them start very well. First 5-6 weeks. Then they plateaued a little bit around like week 7, and they declined into like week 14. And then they started playing better again. And it feels like they got the momentum, and it feels like they're working things out in the secondary. And I know, like outside of Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions don't have like a whole lot to scare you. Like they got Kaminsky, they got McNeil up front, who's pretty decent, but there's no dog to really hunt with Hutchinson. But they always seem to get pressure. And Anzalone always seems to sneak in a sneaky blitz. They always are able to get to the quarterback no matter what team they play, and we can't undercount that. Yeah, this, like, listen, man, like the strength of the Bucks for me, even though like we want to look at their 2 receivers, it's always kind of been the front 7 for me, and that's why I'm not taking it lightly. Kevin Keller, Texans with the upset. Yeah, man, took a lot of shit Wednesday night when I posted that video. Sometimes we got to get a little bit heady. We got to dream a little bit. So Derek, that's where I'm at. The only one I get worried about there is Baltimore. And the 3.5 with the hook in that KC Bills game makes fucking sense to me. Dicko, hey John, hope all is good with you and your family. Let's get this playoff money, mate, and keep the soccer ND gens playing, because Lino's having a Barbie over at his joint Sunday. We're cooking up. Yeah, man. Think we're going to have 3 or 4 soccer plays this week. Looking forward to it. I'll get those up tonight, and I appreciate the well wishes, my man. Mark 4, haha. I was thinking when you were saying the Ravens defense is overrated all season. Ooh. Jocelyn Castillo. Hey, Lawson, back at the pub as usual. I hope the spread's been treating you well. Let's finish the season strong. As for my question, the pub has some unique kind of bets this week due to not many over-unders to bet on. I was wondering your thoughts on these. More catches, Laporta, St. Brown, or Godwin Evans? Godwin and Evans. Fumble plus INTs from Goff and Mayfield over under 2 combined, right? If we're talking combined, I'm going under. Both are going to play very careful football. I'm going under. Sacks over under 5, under. Field goals over under 3, over. Money. Listen, my only complaint with the Lions this year versus the Lions last year is I do feel like their red zone offense has been a little bit stale. When they're in the 20-20, they move the ball rather well. And that's kind of like Todd Bowles' MO. He kind of invented the bend but don't break defense. So I like at least 2 field goals from the Lions, and I like at least 2 field goals from the Bucs. Bucs kick a lot of field goals, man. I'm going over 3. I think that's a money pick. More passing rushing yards, Allen or Mahomes? Allen. More rushing receiving yards, Cook or Pacheco? Pacheco. More receptions, Kelsey or Kincaid? Knox. Wow. Kelsey, but I don't feel strongly about that. Largest lead over or under 11, under. Money pick. I like that one. More receptions, Diggs or Rice? Diggs. And I see like it's +1, so like they're spotting Rice with 1 more catch. I'm still going over. Like I think Diggs has 7 or 8 catches easy. But bro, Jocelyn, that was a good post, man. That was a good post. Lauren, here's my 2 plays. I think the Packers story ends here. Period. Caps. Lay the points. Also, I'll take the Buff KC game under 46 all day. I'm also not opposed to take Baltimore first half, but I wouldn't be surprised with the Houston backdoor cover, so I like first half. Yeah, I mean, we're in agreement on the 49ers. And I do like the under in the Chiefs Bills, but Lauren, what do you think the final score is going to be? I have 24-21, which I think is completely rational. That's just barely under. But yeah, man, let's see. Joe D'Souza, what's up, Big John? We took some bad beats last week. Let's fire back. Money. I got lucky and took a live on Houston to save break even. Here we go. Debo over 16.5. Debo anytime, Houston to cover 9.5, and Pacheco anytime. Which of these 2 would you pick? Josh Allen over 43.5 rushing, or Pat over 26.5 rushing? Wow. I don't know if I like the over in any of those. I know Pat Mahomes has been running a lot this year. I don't like the over. I don't like the over with the Pat Mahomes one. And 43.5 is an awful lot for Josh Allen. Man. I would go under that 43.5 for Josh Allen. Like, I think he's going to have a good game. Like, I don't know how many carries he's going to get. Like, I think maybe the book is overreacting to him having that big run against the Steelers. And it really just comes down to the game plan. But, like, the last year and a half, 2 years, they don't really let him run the ball that much. So I'm going under on that. I'm going under on both of those. Maybe I'm lacking vision, but going under, man. I know no one likes to bet the under, but sometimes you got to do it, man. Well, yeah, like that's what I'm saying because that's what I'm saying, Lauren. I'm gonna get you on soon. A Ravens fan wants to yell at me, so I'm gonna invite him, and then we're gonna get Lauren on. I need to just get my other cell phone, get my soda. Yeah, let's see if I missed any Patreon questions. Yeah, I that's why I'm curious to see how the Ravens come out in the first half. I'm very curious to see. Like I said earlier in the show, watched every Ravens game. The only team that managed to keep Lamar Jackson and bottle him up in the pocket was the Texans. So there's that. Now we're gonna get this guy on. Let's see. Um. Okay, where is he? Okay, let's go. My bad, guys. My bad. Well, and that's one thing that has shocked me the whole year. Like I know people will say, "Oh, Lawson, um, oh, Ravens have the most sacks in the league." Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because they've been up a lot in games and teams have to throw it so much. But like, do I get scared? I know Clowney's played good this year, but do I get scared of like Kyle Van Noy and Jadeveon Clowney? I don't think so. Okay, we're gonna get him on. We're gonna get him on. Let's see what he has to say. Okay. Then Lauren, I'll get you on right afterwards. I think this will be about like 10, 15 minutes. And let's see if we got any more Patreon questions first. Lauren, how'd you do at the poker tournament, man? Okay. Such a troll. Are we just overlooking that he did 6 games? Okay, we're going. Let's get it. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. Can you guys hear these little kids playing? Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see. I think I missed one Patreon question. Let's see. Woodbury 222. I don't normally bet my teams, but this is the perfect storm. I'm taking the points and the exact win. Bucks 1-6 for over Baker Mayfield 1.5 touchdown. Tell me I'm not fanning. Woodbury, I think you're going a little bit far with that. If you feel so fucking confident about it, just put a big bet on the Bucks plus 6.5 and then try to ride it out. That's what I would do if I felt that confident. I listen, I like I said, like I get why you feel confident. I picked Tampa to cover, but I kind of do feel like that's a little bit of a setup. But I get the fundamentals of it, and we know the Bucks have been playing pretty good football, so. Well, okay, so Cowboys would have lost to any of the playoff teams. Didn't have to be the Packers. Jay, I pretty much agree, bro. And like, but I don't want to even be like a hater. I don't even want to be a hater by saying that. But we have been saying this whole year, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we said it. The Cowboys are flat track bullies. And eventually in this league, you will get down. You will face a little bit of resistance. And they just completely folded. It's just completely folded. Okay. Check your spam, bro, because Google showed like a photo of you with a fucking backpack. So it definitely sent to the right place. So check your spam folder. We should be good. I sent another one. Okay. Yeah, Ravens win the Super Bowl. What are the odds? Like, yeah, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I You want to know what? If there is a hypothetical Lions 49ers matchup, at least if you're going with the Lions, you know it's going to be a hard night out. You know it's going to be extremely difficult. And you know it's going to be a long shot. But at least you know if you're betting the Lions in that situation with the points, you know the Lions offensive line won't get bullied by Armstead, won't get bullied by Joey Bosa. Let's see what he has to say.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Hey, so tell me what's up with what you said, man. I don't get it.
Well, let me just rehash the argument. Firstly, I pretty much said this. I said anytime you have an elite quarterback, you can never count that team out. And obviously, Lamar Jackson is an elite quarterback, but we're looking at CJ Stroud. I don't know if you've been watching, but some of the stuff he's been doing is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm not
Against who?
trying to go on.
Against who?
Well,
I mean,
against the Browns,
I understand that they played some elite defenses, but Cleveland looked like shit. I mean, they just look like I don't know what the fuck that was. Like, I don't know what that wasn't the
they were
same.
over. No, you're right.
That
The
wasn't the same
Browns have made
defense that came to
mistakes. Like,
Baltimore in week 11, whatever the fuck it was.
no, you're right. Like the Browns commit more mental errors than any team in this
It's still the
league. Like,
Browns.
you're not
They're
wrong.
still the Browns.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But the Brownies did beat your boy.
But what you said was like it was sounded so outdated. You know, you said if you keep Lamar in the pocket,
Well,
I mean,
playoffs are different style football.
have you seen any team able to keep Lamar in the pocket? Like it's just I mean, he's so
Texans
slippery.
week one.
He's like he has grease on him. Like it's just like he puts baby oil on his skin or something. I don't know. Like he's just like he just did.
No.
He's
I
like
do agree with you.
Houdini.
I do agree with you. Like his in pocket footwork is ridiculous. And remember earlier in the season when he was fumbling quite a bit, he fumbled like one or
Yeah,
two times against the Texans,
yeah.
but he hasn't fumbled at all, from my
I
understanding,
mean,
the last like 8 weeks.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
this.
I am a little bit worried about it.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but I said the Texans are the team that I want to play the most. I didn't want to play Pittsburgh just because the chemistry between Pittsburgh and still in the Ravens. It don't matter how fucking bad Pittsburgh looks. The chemistry just it always creates a tough matchup. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like it's just the I don't know what the fuck the compounds the I don't know what it just it creates a difficult matchup for Lamar Jackson every time. I don't know what the fuck it needs to be studied. Like I don't know. And also I didn't want to play Miami. You know they were the 6th seed, right? So we either could have played Pittsburgh, Miami, Houston, or the Browns. I thought we were going to play the Browns. Miami, we would have dropped we dropped the 60 burger on them. I didn't have no fear about playing Miami. Pittsburgh, I didn't want to play them. I was okay with playing the Browns, but you see, they got their ass whooped. And then we get the ideal matchup in Houston, in which it's just like the matchup between Houston and this Ravens team. It's like they're obsolete against us. Like they're not going to be able to do much. Like they'll probably get a couple like garbage time, throwing passing yards at the end of the second half after, I had the final score being 34-16. That's what I
Okay.
believe. So, I mean, like, I just feel like it, like, let's think about it. Like Houston, when we first played in week 1, you have a rusty Lamar Jackson, right? You could clearly see he's rusty. He threw a pick in that game, and it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he threw a pick, and it was like he was staring down the target the whole
It was
time.
the worst game
And
of
he,
the year
and he
against the
threw it
Texans.
anyway, and it got picked off. And and we still managed to control that whole game towards the whole tie. And the second half, it was kind of
offensive line was hurt going into the game, so there's raining blitzes in, and of course you got like fucking 4 different offensive linemen. That CJ Stroud's line. Now let me just phrase it to you, like someone in the comment section. Maybe this was a little bit of hyperbole, but he kind of compared CJ Stroud to Tom Brady.
Who?
He compared CJ Stroud to Tom Brady.
Oh, I mean, I can see that.
Aren't we kind of getting to that point? Like, I'm just,
but it's like he has. You gotta remember. Well, we're playing in. What's it gonna be tomorrow? 20 degrees, and it was at 4:30, so it's probably gonna be like 24 degrees. You know, they're not gonna fend well. And Tank Dell's gone.
I wish Tank Dell was
Noah
there.
Brown's gone. Noah Brown got hurt.
I don't in your boots if he was there.
No, the fuck I wouldn't. No, Noah Brown's hurt. I mean, I don't even know who they got. Robert Woods, like how Robert Woods, like what? Like Robert Woods so washed up at this point, man. It's just not even. I mean, they're going to give an effort. I mean, I know they're going to give an effort. Like I know that, but I mean, they're not going to really be able to do much. I mean, it's not the same team. I don't know, it's not the same squad. Marquise Brown, a rookie Hollywood Brown isn't our number 1 receiver anymore. We don't have our receiving core isn't a Seth Roberts. Something. These guys aren't even in the league anymore. Like Seth Roberts, like is this guy even in the league? He's probably on somebody's practice squad. I don't know. You have a Willie Snead. This guy, is Willie Snead even on a team right now? Like, who are these guys? Like, I don't know, man. Like,
but here's the thing, man. I think you guys are going to play over aggressive like the Browns against the Texans. Like, I think you guys are going to rein in blitz.
You think?
Blitz
okay, and it's not going to. They're on the road, man. They're on the road. It's different. It's different. Things are different. We got time to heal. We got time to game plan. Like, come on now. Like, I mean, like anything can happen, but like I just don't see an avenue where we lose this game. And it's like,
let me make my last point because you used a word. I'll focus on one word you used. Although I love the baby oil, that was a great fucking description. But the word I want to focus on that you used was the word rusty. You said that about their week 1 game, which I actually agree. I think it's a fair assessment. We both watched the game, but use the word rusty. Pretty much, correct me if I'm wrong, the whole offense hasn't played football in 2 weeks. You got a Texans team slanging in here with nothing to lose. Everyone thinks it's going to fucking get blown out. Everyone thinks Lamar Jackson is going to like tomahawk all over them the whole game. What do they have to lose? And at a certain point, have you seen CJ Stroud sweat at all this year? I don't think we've seen a rookie like this in.
I seen him get his ass. I seen him get busted against the Jets.
Okay, yeah.
And I seen him get sacked like 8 times against us in week 1. I seen him get sacked like 6-7 times in week 1.
Yeah.
And I seen
playoffs, man.
And I know it's the playoffs, man. And I just I mean, he got that one good playoff win people gonna remember his rookie year for, but come on now. Like, he's not about to walk into Baltimore and do that. Like, you gotta be real, bro. You gotta be real about this shit. You're gonna have people. I'm pretty sure Ray Lewis probably might be present at the game. It's not going down like that.
You think Ray's gonna give a speech?
He might.
I changed my mind now. No, but he gives great speeches. I remember, just to go off topic, you guys remember when the Ravens went on that run, not comparing it to what the Texans did. Like, Ravens were kind of shit that year, and then they started peaking around like week 12, week 13. It was Ray Lewis's last ride. After every fucking game, he would lay out like a speech and start quoting Bible commandments. Yeah.
No weapon.
That's some high quality entertainment, man. Like, wow. I wonder if anyone knows what we're talking about. It's so crazy. I got so into that. Like,
Oh, I watched the few. This is Ravens page I follow on Instagram. Oh my god, like it was different when Ray was. It was different when Ray was there, man. I was watching a clip when I think it was like 2015. We were like 1-6. He said, "It's not about 1-6. It's what you do when you're 1-6." I was like, I
The
was like,
chat
man.
says your Ray Lewis impression was scary good. Oh my god!
No,
All
like
right, so so if you don't think there's more pressure on the Ravens in this game than the
no,
Texans?
no. We just gotta get through this game, and I'm worried about next week. I'm not really worried about this week. Like we just gotta do what we do. If we do what we gotta do, we don't gotta be flashy. We just do what we gotta do. We win this game by the spread is 9 points. If we win this game 24-14, even if it's a boring game, we win 24-14. We cover the spread. Like that's it. Like 10 points. Like that you asking us to win by 10 points. I mean, I could get if the spread was 13 and a half, then you start to get a little, but 10 points, not even 10. It was at 9 flat.
Yeah,
No.
it's 9.5, but 9.5. That's I would have preferred it to be higher, but some people just want to ride this Stroud train.
They think Stroud's gonna do the same thing. I don't understand. I'm glad
Don't you think
Roquan.
Stroud's kind of going to be bossing this league for like the next 10, 15 years?
I mean, I get it. I get it. But it's just like, I don't know, man.
And if I recall, I know we were big on the Texans Colts game. Everyone thought, no, they're not going to do it, and then they ended up doing it. And I know, obviously, the Ravens is a complete different problem than the Colts, but
They won that game. They won that game because the running back dropped a wide open pass out the backfield.
Stroud would have still had like 20 seconds to get it down there, man.
That's hypothetical as shit.
But they did that against the Bucs. They got a fucking touchdown in like fucking 23 seconds.
That's hypothetical as fuck.
Like I said, like I know the games haven't been on prime time and they've all been at 1:00. But Jesus, man, some of the
no. I would rather play the Texans and the Colts though. Well, it don't really matter.
Don't be disrespectful. The Colts got lucky against you guys. That like, come on.
They did.
Oh, yeah, Minshew. Yeah, you'd be scared to play Minshew.
You never know what he could pull out his hat, man.
Do you think Stroud's overrated?
Nah, I think Stroud's a beast, but he's gonna. I mean, like if Dalton Schultz is running wide the fuck open right past the safety, I mean, he's gonna throw it up to him like they do every day in practice. Of course, he's gonna catch that shit. I mean, like let's be real about it. Nico Collins get a free release off the line because Greg Newsome is fucking staring at a fan in the stands. Then of course he's gonna catch it. Like if Brevin Jordan jukes 2 fucking Browns out of bounds like Madden and runs it and takes it all the way up the sideline, I mean, he's going to score. If Joe Flacco is staring right at if Joe Flacco, who was on the couch, didn't even know if he was going to play anymore, and those are right, it stares as soon, like from the beginning of the snap, if he stares down his target and throws it right, of course he's going to get picked. Like, let's be real. Like, let's be real, man. Like, but I get it though. It can't always be all Ravens. I don't want it to be all Ravens love. We need some Texans love to balance it out. So the equilibrium, it would be, so the shit would be even. Like we need this shit. We don't need no fluke shit. We don't need no roughing the passer. We need the Texans love. We can't be all Ravens love. So.
Well, yeah, maybe we might even see a few roughing the passers to keep this game close. So
I mean,
when it gets close, maybe you guys start clenching a little bit, and then you guys know how those roughing the passers can change the game. You guys are gonna one thing the Ravens do: they pressure the fucking quarterback. And it's not 90s anymore.
We're gonna send.
To throw those.
I mean, he doesn't. We're gonna send blitzes at him. He's probably never seen his football career. Like. He's gonna get hit, man. I want to see some forced fumbles. I want to see a forced fumble scoop and score.
I
That's
don't
what I'm.
remember seeing Stroud fumble the whole year. Anyways,
Oh, we'll be the
so
first one.
final score
We'll be the
prediction.
first
What's
one,
your
maybe.
final score prediction? And then I'll let you go. We gotta get you on again next year.
Final score prediction: 34-16.
Anyways,
My
thank you for
best
coming
bet.
on,
My
man.
best bet in this game: Ravens team total. No, okay. You know what? My best bet is the Ravens 9.5. That's my best bet. And team total over. And if you want to go with some props, go with Zay Flowers over 49.5 yards.
That's low for him.
That's what I'm saying.
That is fucking low. It's
That's what
just
I'm saying. I don't know if it's because we had 3 weeks off and they're just resetting and shit. I don't know what the fuck, but you could go with Odell. I mean, or if you think Odell's gonna no, go with Isaiah Likely. You know what? Go with Isaiah's Likely receiving yards. But
all right. Thank you for coming on, man.
yeah,
We'll
no
get you on
problem.
again
Thank you for
next year.
having me. Thank
Yo,
you for.
always great to have you. Okay, let's get Lauren on now. Yeah, dude, the Ray Lewis impression, like he fucking killed it, man. He fucking killed it with that Ray Lewis impression. I almost was it as good as I heard? And I see Charlie Chips going off in the chat. Charlie, honestly, how many games, bro, have you watched of Stroud this year? And like I've been hyping him up since like week 3. These performances have been just absolutely breathtaking. And I don't recall me using the word masterclass in previous years, but I had to find a new word to use to describe some of these performances. I'm gonna send Michael Mann a thing too, because he's salty grapes because fucking the Panthers and that bald ass bitch Tupper picked Bryce Young instead of Stroud. Maybe Tupper's sending him money now. Thank you, JC. Thank you, JC. Man, we're having fun, man. It's playoffs time. Let's have some fun. Yeah, the fucking Tupper, man. All right, I'll be right back. I sent both the invites to him. Okay, we got Lauren. Hey, Lauren, you're
Hello.
up on your camera. How's it going?
No camera. I've been sick.
So, how did the poker tournament go?
So, a couple different ways.
I think she booted herself. Okay, let's see. Okay.
I am
Yeah,
so
not sure
sorry.
what happened.
I'm sorry. I hit a button.
Oh no, that's fine.
My bad. So first weekend went absolutely great. Which would have been 2 weeks ago. So, weekend one was awesome. I bagged on Friday, which means I advanced to Sunday. So Saturday I didn't have to do anything. I could just enjoy myself. I bagged with, when you bag, it means they play down to 19% of the field. So there was about, let me see, I think there was around 1,100 players. So they played down to about like 119 or something like that. And once they play down to 19% of the field, those that are left come back and play in the next would have been Sunday. So there's multiple 4 flights. So you have Thursday, 2 flights on Friday, 2 flights on Saturday, all to qualify for Sunday. So I played 1 flight on Friday, qualified, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, done, good, moved on to Sunday. So I pretty much went to bed at 7 a.m. Friday night. So Saturday, I slept pretty much, almost all day, which is why I missed you guys Friday night because I was playing the first week. And then I played Sunday. I played really well. Everybody that played that gets there on Sunday, pretty much you're in the money. It's just a matter of where you end. I was in a really good situation. I had a lot of chips, but I, lost a flip. So I had ace king versus ace queen with the ace high flop, and I'm sitting pretty till the river comes a queen. So took a little bit of a bad beat for that, and it kind of crippled me. So I went out, so I left me with not a lot left. I went all in with pocket sevens, ran into pocket jacks. So I finished, I think out of 5,000, I finished like 290 maybe. So I cashed. It could have been a lot better. But I guess it could have been a lot worse. This past weekend, went back again for the main. It was an absolute disaster. Nothing like the first weekend. Yeah, nothing like the first weekend. Two things I'll just tell you. One is, I just couldn't win a flip to save my life. I would flop a set of jacks and get 4-card flushed on. I also, at one point in time, I had to move tables, and I got sat right next to my mentor, my poker coach. I have a poker coach that was playing who's a phenomenal, and I got put at his table right next to him. The man that knows everything. He's taught me everything I know. And I got to sit at the table with him. So that was obviously bad news to begin with. And I just couldn't win a flip, and I couldn't hit anything. I had ace king versus pocket jacks, ace king of spades, flop come 2 spades. All I got to do is hit a spade, an ace or a king, whiffed it all. But yeah, so I was kind of dead from the beginning in that one, but I have some friends that ran really deep. So it was a good 2 weekends, though. It was a lot of fun. One thing about football, I didn't even know they moved the Bills game. I was so involved in the tournament. I didn't even get to see a game, like from start to finish. You would think the casino had Peacock and no one could find the game for the Kansas City, Miami shit. It was terrible. But I didn't even know.
Big viewers for that. They're trying to tell us 22 million people watch that. That's bunch of malarkey.
They are so full of shit because this casino that I was in couldn't even get the damn game. And I was like, what?
Is so old. Like, that doesn't even fucking make sense. Like,
no.
Peacock's
like so old. Like, so many people are over 70 in our country. Like, fuck out of here, man.
What I was trying to figure out is I literally looked up at the time and I said, isn't it time for the freaking game? And there's basketball on every screen. And I'm like, why do we not have the Kansas City Miami game on? And then somebody comes over and says, oh, well, it's on Peacock. I said, what the fuck does that matter? You guys don't get that here? Like, I mean, I was like, what do you don't get Peacock here? Like, I mean, this is a damn casino, for crying out loud.
And why that game on Peacock? Why couldn't we put any other, like, why couldn't we put Browns Texans on there? Why couldn't we put on there?
Literally hosting $1 million poker tournament, and you guys can't get you guys
Peacock.
cannot get the freaking night football the football game. Yeah, it was absolutely atrocious. So I thought that was absolutely ridiculous, but whatever.
It wasn't all that good a game.
But what are we talking about?
But anyways, yeah, Lauren was going on about her poker tournament.
I was like,
well, I was asked about it.
Question, Lauren unloaded, man.
Well, I was letting everybody in the chat know.
I was
curious.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Lauren like gave the play-by-play. She remembers the fucking hands too, which is wild.
Oh, you have to. You gotta get better, man. You gotta make sure, as long as you get it in good.
Was I the only one to just join the stream and be like, what the heck is going on here? Like, I mean,
I'm not sure. Anyway, so let's talk with the Texans Baltimore game. And good evening to you, Mike.
Good to see
Mike.
you.
But what's up with you versus Stroud? I don't get it.
What,
He's better. He's better because he's not playing for Carolina.
I think you might have been the one who mentioned like every single Texans games were at like 1, so maybe not enough people got to see him. What could he have done more this year? I'm not quite understanding.
I mean, give the kid some credit for crying out loud.
I know,
man.
I'm not understanding. I just don't get it. Like, I know we've been big up on Stroud on this channel the whole year. Maybe it is a little bit nauseating, but Jesus, like,
so
we're just watching the games.
So, well, okay, my problem isn't with CJ Stroud. The reason I'm high on the Ravens this week is because of their defense. It's more of me being high on the Ravens defense than me having anything against CJ Stroud. I don't think I'm with you on that the Ravens offense could come in sleepwalking and possibly have a slow start. But I think this Ravens defense is single-handedly going to win the game for them. I'd like to read off some numbers here, just going on for the Ravens defense this year. They have owned these Kyle Shanahan-style offenses that the Texans are going to be rolling in with. They held the 49ers to 19, Lions to 6, Seahawks to 3, Dolphins 19. All these teams run the same scheme pretty much. They're all in the same family, and the Ravens have just completely owned them. And I could see the same exact thing happening here. The Texans really only have one good weapon right now, and that's Nico Collins. And I don't think I can't say his name, Bobby Slovic is going to be scheming open. Scheming open receiver.
Might be your new coach.
What was that?
Your new coach.
You like the new cut?
Oh, no. I said he might be your new coach.
I mean, it can't be worse than what we've had, but anyway, I don't see him out coaching Harbaugh to the extent of what he did to the Browns last week. I mean, no offense, nothing against CJ Stroud, but his job against Cleveland was so easy last week. I mean, granted, he made the throws, but when you play fake, turn around, and your first read is wide open, and I mean wide ass open every single time, like I wasn't all that impressed by Stroud's performance. You know, how many times did he turn around? His receiver was covered.
Are you reading PFF now?
What was that?
Are you reading Pro Football Focus?
What? Why do you ask? Lawson?
That's like they hate Stroud. They have like Stroud like the 20th. They have Stroud. Okay, my bad. My internet. They have Stroud as like the 20th best quarterback this year. It's fucking ridiculous.
That's absurd.
Oh my God. I have to take my camera. I don't know what's going on. It is absurd.
That's absolutely absurd.
Okay,
that's absolutely absurd.
I think I'm good now. Were you talking about how Pro Football Focus had him only as the 5th best quarterback last week?
Yeah, it's just one example of the fuckery that's been going on there.
I honestly understand it. I see why they did it. You
would see that. You are such a Stroud hater. It's absolutely ridiculous. You would see that. Who are you gonna put above him? Jalen Hurts?
Who else? Who's our friend guy? Jared Goff played better than him. Kyle Allen played better than him. Mahomes played better than him. You know, maybe not on the stat sheet. And if you look at the stat sheet, then that's that's on you. But I mean, looking at the film play by play, CJ Stroud's not doing more than any of these guys.
But
he didn't need to do much.
Look at the defense he went up against.
But if
they were ahead by so much. What was he really having to do in the second half? They went up ahead so early, so fast. What exactly more was he going to have to do aside from manage the clock and play and be able to keep the lead? Manage the clock.
My argument is if you're grading their impact on the game, the guys that I mentioned having a much more significant impact on
he obviously got them ahead by so much so fast. And then, somehow, right? So he never had to play catch up.
Lauren, you're 100% right. And I'm so tired of their influence on the NFL. Like, I'm so tired of PFF. And they've just had such a negative influence. Remember, For the last 3 years, they ducked under in a hole this year. Remember how they loved Brandon Staley? They were so high on
Oh
him. They
God.
kept giving him a top 5 head coach in the league. He had great teams, borderline very good teams. They lose every year. They don't get to playoffs. I'm so sick of the influence they're having on this league. Like, it's just disgusting. And I know Collinsworth owns the company. I know they have money behind it. They put the shit on NBC, but it's just bullshit. Because it's
Listen,
bullshit.
listen. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Michael. I'm going to say one thing about this because I had to watch, because I was playing poker or whatever, I had to watch these games later, right? So I'm going to tell you right now, in order for him to be able to sit there and just manage the game for the whole second half, he had to get up by 23 points somehow. And when did he do that? In the first and second quarter. He basically ran up and down that freaking Cleveland defense. He went up and down them like HIV on Hollywood Boulevard. Okay. And basically just beat the shit out of them. So all he had to do in quarters 3 and 4 was just maintain and clock manage. That's all he had to do. What's he supposed to do? Put himself in harm's way when they're up by 3 touchdowns? No, he didn't have to.
I'm not saying he didn't play well. I'm just saying there were more impressive quarterback performances of the weekend.
Okay, to me, that was pretty freaking impressive. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, when you got 2 pick sixes and every guy you throw to is wide open, I just don't know how you can say that.
Okay, well.
Anyways, Lauren, who you got in the game? Honestly, this is what I'm saying. And I feel bad for Mike because, one thing I hear about Tepper is he calls around the league to lots of journalists, lots of ex-GMs asking for information. And he's made calls to PFF. And that's just a kryptonite for any franchise.
Oh, God.
Bobby Slowick, who's the Texans offensive coordinator, actually used to work for PFF.
Yeah, we know. He also used to work for Shanahan, and D'Amico Ryans picked him.
Yeah.
So,
which is part of the reason I think the Ravens are going to control this game on defense.
Okay, good. Lauren, who you got against the spread?
Huh?
I thoroughly believe that the Texans will be held under 20 points.
So, I'll tell you this. I like the Ravens first half.
What's that?
What was it?
I'll look it up.
I think it was. You'll have to look it up. That's right.
Yeah, no, I look it up. Go on.
I am not opposed to a Houston backdoor cover here at all. You guys remember, listen to me. A couple years ago, there was a team called the Cincinnati Bengals, led by a guy by the name of Joe Burrows, that was the underdog in every single playoff game he played in. And what happened? What happened that year?
He lost the Super Bowl, like we told you.
Okay, so he lost the Super Bowl, but who went to the Super Bowl? He was a double-digit underdog in 2 of his 4 playoff games.
Yeah.
Double-digit underdog. So let's not just automatically make assumptions here. So I'm not opposed to a Houston backdoor cover, but I do like the Ravens to come out early and ahead early, because that's what they do. So I definitely would, if I were to bet that, I would take it first half, but I'm not sold on them covering by 10 all the way at the end, just because, here's what the Ravens want to do. They want to just get in, get out, right? They haven't played in 2 weeks. They want, you know what I mean? They're not going to try to do anything fancy. It's going to be cold, right? They're not going to try to do anything out of character if they're ahead by, 7 points or whatever, you know what I'm saying? 7 or 8 or 10 points. They're, you know what I mean? If they're ahead by 10 and Houston scores, so be it. So there's going to be opportunity for a backdoor, I think. But I wouldn't be opposed to a backdoor cover by Houston. I wouldn't.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, I'm so sick of betting these 10-point spreads. Like, I mean, I got killed betting the Steelers last week. I was convinced they were going to cover.
Why would anybody take the Steelers last week when
Did you?
when they were 1-10 without JJ Watt or TJ Watt? Sorry,
Yeah,
TJ Watt. They are 1-10.
But I went 4-2 last week, so I'll take it. If that's my 1L, I'll take it.
Well, and that's the whole point why they moved the game, because when Mike was picking it in his defense, I know everyone wants to dunk on Mike, but in his defense, he was picking it when it had like fucking 50-mile-per-hour winds, and then they come in and move a playoff game, which I've never fucking seen before.
And not only that, but I also got screwed when Laporta played. And I know he didn't do much, and even though the Rams covered, the Lions probably would have won regardless, but that was something I was not accounting for going into that game.
Well, okay, it's just and Lauren, so for the first half, let me just read these off to people because I actually find it very interesting. So the first half, like Pinnacle's got Ravens -6 at -125. -6.5 is -117, and -7 is +105. So I assume people would want to go with the 6.
With the 6, yeah. I would be okay with the first half. That's about all I could do because I could potentially see a backdoor cover here from Houston, and I hope they win. I hope they freaking win. I really do. But, I also got to be a realist here, so, but I'm so sick of this kid not getting the credit he deserves. It's absolutely, everybody wants to give Jordan Love the MVP now. Everybody wants to give Jordan Love the MVP because he beat a piece of shit Dallas team, and with the worst head coach in America, and with any other head coach, that team would be absolutely amazing. And you want to give Jordan Love the MVP now, when meanwhile Stroud has been doing this shit all damn year. So
again, I want to talk about Lawson. I'm with you on this. Packers get blown out hill. I think they're going to get absolutely slapped in this game.
Yeah, the Green Bay story stops here.
Yeah, and no, Lauren, listen, I know Joe Barry, and I said this last week that Joe Barry's defense have been playing better, but they have done two things really well. They haven't played anyone who's good at running the ball, and they've taken away number one receivers. The 49ers can answer both of those questions in their sleep. They're going to maul the Packers, and I mean maul this team. Like, this will be over by halftime. I would not be surprised.
No, I agree with you. No, and Mike, here's the thing that shocked me, man. Why wouldn't the Packers? Why wouldn't the Cowboys try to run the ball a little bit? And also, like, are you seeing anything in this Packers front seven where they can stop the run? I'm
not at all. It. That's the problem here. There's still no defense with this Packers team. So what are they going to? I mean,
and listen, they're not. For you stat nerds in the house, Dak still threw for like 450 yards.
Yeah.
Like, let's not forget. Like, I mean, they had a great first half, but literally all the Packers had to do was double team CeeDee Lamb, and then Dak just threw him the ball. So I mean,
but
yeah,
the Love stuff did get annoying this week. I agree with you.
Yeah, so I think Packers get absolutely slapped here.
Oh, I think they absolutely get murdered. Yeah. Murdered.
I think we're going to see 2 big wins in the first day.
But I agree with you, Mike. Like, I don't like betting these like -9.5, -10s.
I'm so done with it. I'm not touching that Ravens game.
No? Yeah. No one's got the balls to do it?
Are you going to do it? And no disrespect to either of you two, but when the reasons you're betting the game start with, I'm hoping the Ravens offense doesn't show up and I need a backdoor cover, I
never said I hope. I just said I think that there is potential for a backdoor cover. That's why I'm taking the first half.
But when those are your main arguments for betting the game, I think you betting the game is a bad decision. That's my case here.
Mike,
I'm taking the Ravens first half. That's what I've said since the show started.
Mike, I gave a 6-minute rant why I think Houston can win the game.
Really? I missed it. Why?
I gave it on Wednesday on the upset video because I don't think there's going to be any upsets. Like, I think the upset is either going to be Houston does something crazy or we just all favorites win. I do want to hear your guys' opinion on Tampa Bay. I feel like we haven't talked about that game enough. But anyways, like, yeah, Mike. So
and I can't wait to talk about the Bills.
Go ahead, Lawson.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So I don't want to dwell on like Texans Ravens too much, but pretty much my rationale was, firstly, I watched every single Ravens game this year. I felt like the defense that kept them in the pocket the best and had the best game plan. They forced 2 turnovers. Felt like the Texans defense was the best against Lamar the whole year. It's week 1. Yes, it was Monken's first game. It was Lamar's first game of the season with Monken. Like, we get it. So I'm not trying to go overboard with it, but I also truly believe, man, that the Ravens are going to be out of rhythm. And now use your head when you think about this, like, because you could differ, but here's my opinion. Every single offense in this league involves rhythm. And when I look at the Ravens, like, what do we see? We see a lot of RPOs. We see a lot of read option. We see a lot of choice routes from wide receivers. Their big plays come from double moves down the field. For me, all that is fucking rhythm based. I could be completely off base here, but I do think they can start slow, man. It's pretty much been like 3 weeks for them. Am I wrong? Since they've went out and had a play, and then everyone's throwing heat at Dan Campbell, but hasn't he gotten the results and proved that maybe the rest isn't the best thing? And I'm just curious, man. And I think I mentioned this to you. I'm not sure if I did, but I'll mention it again. The last time the Ravens were in this situation, everyone thought they were going to win the championship.
They
were
choked.
really fucking
Tennessee
good.
beat Tennessee, went in there and won.
Yeah. Like 2 scores. So it's, yeah, man, I get what you're saying, but also, like, a little bit of my argument is I think Stroud's an elite quarterback. So
I do too.
I think
anyways, let's get to other games because we talked about this for like, what game you guys want to go to? Let's go to 49ers one.
Please.
Yeah, who you got?
Well, I already made my pick.
I mean, there is no questions. There is no more. The Green Bay Cinderella story is over once they get to Santa Clara.
Well,
That's
Lawson,
it.
you said something on your pick'em show that I thought was really good. Step 1 to beating the 49ers is containing Christian McCaffrey. I don't even think they can do that. And,
no way.
And in fairness, I don't know if any defense can contain Christian McCaffrey at this point. But if you
be the best player in the league, man.
Yeah, but if you can't stop him, you open up the play action game. You open up Kittle. You open up Debo on screens. I mean, without stopping or even containing McCaffrey, you just open yourselves up to so many other weapons that it's impossible to stop. And I really don't see how Joe Barry is going to be able to contain or game plan for anything. And I think
this whole 49ers team is healthy too. Everybody's healthy. So you've got everybody playing. The Green Bay, this has been a cute story and all. Everybody thinks it's cute, right? Like, it's been cute. Yeah, it's been cute, right? Like, we're all Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers got, is blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. And Brett Favre thinks that there's something special. And everybody's they went into Dallas and won. And to me, actually, nobody was more excited about that than I was. But anyways, it's been a real cute story, but it stops. It ends this week.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to just ask you guys, don't you feel like Shanahan's played this last like 2-3 weeks of the regular season really well?
And not just that. And not just that, but this team is built for this right now. Like, this team, you saw when they come off of a bye, that team just tore Jacksonville to shreds. Okay.
So you want to talk about a hungry team? I think the 49ers enter this game on a mission to kill. Like, I don't think they're holding.
They might win by.
Need to be their year. Like,
yeah,
this has to be their year, man.
Oh, yeah. They might win by 20.
And we can move to the next game, but I think 49ers and Bills, if you can't make it this year, your window or your chances are in trouble.
I think the Bills for sure.
Bills especially because Joe Burrow's not there to beat them, and because the Chiefs aren't playing to their normal level.
Listen,
Yeah.
the Bills have been playing playoff games for the last 6 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. So if anybody has been on the chopping block, all right, it's been the Bills. Because 6 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago, they were a 10% chance of even making the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay? They have been in a playoff game every week for the last 7 weeks, busting their asses and beating their opponents. So no change this week. They'll win.
And they have covered a lot of spreads for us.
Yeah. They're gonna be just fine this week too.
This week, I think.
I kind of feel like the Chiefs are done. I just felt
this
like
is just
they
not.
lost
This is
to
just
Divisional.
yeah. I mean, and we all knew they were going to beat the shit out of Miami. I mean, I had them beating the shit out of Miami. Tua doesn't play well in anything under 80 degrees. So let's not get a carry out of ourselves. I had Kansas City last week, but not this week.
Yeah, and I want to know what you guys.
And a lot of the chat, sorry to cut you off, Mike. A lot of the chat is worried about the Bills' defensive injuries.
I don't even care.
But
They had the whole year.
Most of them are playing.
Whole year.
They've had the same issues from the beginning of the year, like you said, and a lot of them, I think they're still playing.
Yeah. And, Lauren, you taught me this lesson when the 49ers played the Eagles. But when you play a physical game in the elements, Eagles had done against Buffalo, and like the Chiefs did last against the Dolphins in degrees or whatever that was, that takes a toll.
Oh, yeah.
If I got to go in this game and ask which team is more ready to play, is going to come in with more energy, I think the Bills 100%, especially at home.
Oh, yeah. They've been waiting for a home playoff game against the Chiefs. Long time.
This is Mahomes' road playoff game.
They have been waiting to host the Chiefs at home on the playoffs for a long ass time. And they finally get to now. And this team is ready. You guys don't understand. Like I said, they have literally been playing playoff games for 7 weeks. This team was less than 10% chance of making the playoffs 7 weeks ago. 7 weeks ago was a long time ago.
Yeah. And,
like
the stats will not support it. But if you told me you want Josh Allen for MVP, I would not blame you. Because he has played phenomenal level and won this team a lot of games.
Listen, he's definitely coming through clutch here at the end, right? But he's still putting turnovers up and shit like that. But I'll tell you what, the team is just they're making shit happen, and we knew they were going to beat the crap out of Pittsburgh. That was my biggest play last week. I wish to God I could have been on the show for you guys. I college funded that bad boy.
Did they though?
They did. Yeah, they did.
That game was there for the taking for a good.
I felt like Pittsburgh got unlucky, especially like when they were driving to get the backdoor cover. Pickens gets absolutely raped running a slant, and there's no flag, and like that would have been a backdoor cover. Well, yeah, Bills look good, man. Like getting out to 21-0 start is good against the Steelers.
Calls in that game too. Like they didn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. That was not the reason they won, but they definitely got some 50-50 calls that could have easily gone against them.
And can we be honest? Like, and I'm not even saying, oh, it's a conspiracy. Bills are getting the right bounces, man. Like I already went through it all, but they're getting the right bounces. Like they're getting administration bounces. Like when have we ever seen the NFL move a playoff game?
Well, I mean, I think it was literally we're from up there, Lawson. How bad? I mean, now here's the thing. I was stuck in, poker world. So how bad was it? They had like 3 feet of snow or something.
They were using one video specifically the day before the game to rationalize it. And obviously, you can make a video, you can make it look how you want. So they're making it pretty much look like a whiteout where you can't see and almost look like a fucking tornado because there was like 50-mile-per-hour winds. But I also felt like they went over dramatic with it. And if they didn't have MLK Day to use as some sort of crutch, I don't think they would have moved it. And honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I think the conditions with Chiefs Miami were far more dangerous.
Patrick
especially-
Mahomes' helmet cracked.
Yeah.
Patrick
Especially-
Mahomes' helmet almost shattered on his head.
So the whole premises of moving the Bills-Steelers game was because of the danger it was going to be to fans getting to the game. Well, how about the danger of fans sitting in negative 10 degrees for 3.5 hours in the cold?
Mike, they let him go 2 days to go shovel the fucking place and only pay him $20. So like,
Yeah.
Anyways, people want us to get the Lions-Bucks game. I
Oh,
do kind of want to hear
go.
your opinion about this. Let's go.
You first.
Yeah, you guys can talk. I've talked
got-
a lot about this game. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, you guys aren't gonna like this, but I got Tampa to cover.
I get it. Like it's 6.5.
I got Chris Godwin to have a day.
I got Lions to cover, but I mean, who the hell knows? Like this is one I'm by far least confident in this.
Yeah, I'm probably the least confident about this one too. But actually, no, maybe not. I really think Detroit just got by the Rams. Just got by the Rams. So,
Shush got by the Rams. Shush got by the Rams.
They
did.
That Rams team's fucking good.
Oh, and yet
that's what I'm saying. And they just got by the Rams.
Quite honestly, Rams are playing much better football entering the weekend than Tampa Bay was. Like by far.
A lot better, man.
Baltimore this year and took them down to the wire.
And I think that Tampa can somehow cover. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they could somehow cover. I mean, I hope they get blown out, but I think they can somehow hang in there just because Detroit still, their secondary is just, I mean, I think Chris Godwin's going to have a day. That'd be my player prop. I think he goes over.
Something that I saw in the Rams game that I think can carry over to this one and really make life hard for the Bucs. I think the pass rush is going to get after Baker Mayfield, like in a big way. I was surprised Matthew Stafford stayed in the game last week. With the beat he was taking, it's a miracle he survived 4 quarters of that. And
he got beat up.
And when Pro Football Focus or when PFF says that Matt Stafford played better than CJ Stroud, stuff like that is why. That might have been the best QB performance, like one of the top 5 performances of the season, what Stafford did.
Bro, Stafford's been so good this year. And when Stafford's in his zone, he's fucking nasty.
Dude, yeah.
So
I love Matthew Stafford, bro.
And the Rams are really peaking at the right time, too. Credit to Detroit, their defense in that second half. That was just a miraculous performance.
Yeah. It's a shame the Rams didn't make it past the wild card. They certainly deserve to make it further than Tampa did. Because I think the Eagles just fell apart.
Yeah, like
man, I don't even know that. You know what? That is the one game I actually got to watch because it was nighttime after pretty much everything was done. So I actually got to watch that game, and I was watching it at the Hard Rock, and I'm literally watching that score on the screen, and I'm like, is that really? Like, I came in to that game in the second quarter, and I said, what in the actual hell? They looked like a bunch of clowns out there, the Eagles. Like, I mean, but did we really expect anything less after what we've seen out of them the last 6 weeks?
Ray Lewis basically had a meltdown on the Manning cast over how bad the Eagles defense was playing.
Well, they couldn't tackle anyone. And one thing about Detroit, they're at least going to tackle you.
I mean, they literally looked like they were in, like, it was like day one for them.
Yeah.
Like your first day at the job, day one. It literally looked like they were in day one.
Yeah.
And
I think Gloss and I both had Tampa to win and cover, but I mean, the whole reason we didn't touch it is because we knew if Philly actually could play to the level they're capable of, they could have won that game. And man, Philly just they did not show up the second half of the season.
Jalen is more hurt than people are letting on to be. Something is seriously.
Agreed. Mike did hint at that last week.
Why that's not being talked about, I don't understand. But he is way more injured and way.
Not only that, but you were without AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. His finger wasn't even working. And what really bothered me about the Eagles' game plan is that they didn't even try to run the ball. Like that was
Do you know why AJ Brown didn't play?
Say it again?
Do we know why AJ Brown didn't play?
Yeah,
it was a knee injury.
It was a knee injury.
They're without AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts has a bum finger, and they throw the ball. They only run the ball 4 times in the first half.
Because they were behind.
Still,
they got behind too fast.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was only like by 10 points, 13 points. It was
right.
Halftime.
That's a lot.
Mike's
That's
right.
a lot early.
Meltdown. It's a complete meltdown.
That's a lot early. He has to throw.
It was a one-score game at halftime.
Abandon the run game completely, and that offense line's made to go forward.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
And listen, I said this last week, and I know I don't want to discredit Tampa Bay for what they did to the Eagles, but I mean, Lauren, you saw how bad the Bucks played against your Saints, and who
was the one that said that? That said, if any time that the Saints are going to play up, it's going to be this week.
Yeah.
Against the Bucks. Who said that?
Yeah, correct. Listen, again, when you can't score a touchdown against my Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, and still win.
Yeah, and still win. Shout out to the Panthers for making that happen. You got
Shout out to the Panthers for screwing me because they fumbled in the end zone and missed 3 field goals and got no points when they should have been up 17-0.
Hey, Lauren, I just want to point out while we're on the topic, this marks the second year in a row where a Panthers loss has knocked you out of the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're so good.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long 10 years for that team.
Yeah. Did I tell you I went to both the Jacksonville game and the Bucks game? Panthers got shut out both times and got outscored 35-0.
Were the tickets free?
I mean, they were cheap, but, probably do.
Hey, the funniest thing was before the Jags game, Mike was feeling it. He takes a picture at the Jacksonville Stadium saying, "Oh, Panthers are going to beat the Jags." Like he was feeling good about it. And then I made sure I posted it later. And that's the day Tepper had a breakdown and he
and he threw beer at the fan.
Dude, I wish. Oh my God, if I was in his vicinity, man.
What a piece of shit he is.
I guarantee you, but I kind of wish that Bucks game had been a blowout. Because I know Panthers fans would have revolted. Bank of America Stadium was actually pretty packed that day.
What a piece of trash he is.
Yeah, I hate
that. He is a piece of trash.
Listen, I don't want to talk about the Panthers. Let's talk about these playoffs.
No, but Mike, Tepper, man, what is he doing?
Good.
He's an owner in North Carolina where people are like known to be like very, very fucking polite.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I don't think. I mean, Carolinians are hard people to piss off generally, and David Tepper has certainly tested that.
He's right. They might be like the hardest people in the country to piss off.
They are they literally are like the pleasant, friendly South, and he's found a way for the whole state to hate him.
Yeah. We hate him.
But you know what? In defense, you guys hated him before. You guys just have more reason to hate him now.
I hated him. There were 2 times where I knew I was going to hate David Tepper forever. One was when he cut Cam Newton and signed Teddy Bridgewater to replace him. And secondly was when he didn't hire Steve Wilkes. Those were my 2 I hate you David Tepper moments.
Anyways, yeah.
He's got to be the worst owner in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
He might be the worst.
There's a part of me that really there's a part of me that really hopes the Panthers are bad next year, just so we can finally get them to sell the team.
But Wink, where are you?
What
Where
do
are
you
you
mean?
living in North
What do
Carolina?
you mean hopes? What hope do you have of them being good?
I mean, well, when I say I mean like 0-17. Like there's a part of me that super bad season just to get rid of this guy.
You don't even you Chicago's got your draft pick.
Yeah.
I mean, so where are you really going to improve?
I mean, you can get a real coach.
You could.
Yeah, that's step one. But Tepper can't even do that. We're gonna, you know what's gonna. We've interviewed Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, twice, and we just talked about how bad job he did on Monday.
Somebody that just laid an egg the whole second half of the season.
Yeah, and we've interviewed him twice.
Yeah, so well, there you go.
Yeah, but
anyway, let's go.
Does anyone have anything else to mention for this playoff game?
No, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready to see what the Texans can do, man. And Wink, I know you're enjoying seeing Stroud, man. Yeah, he's in the chat. He's saying like people from North Carolina ain't all that, like, but he lives in Raleigh, so I mean,
it's Raleigh.
My bad.
Raleigh.
I just don't use big cities like to judge people. Like I just judge them by the whole state. So. But yeah.
North Carolinians are generally nice people, so when you get them in the revolt, you know you suck. I've seen some bad Panthers teams in my day. I've never seen the fan base get this angry at anything.
They have every right to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't we know it?
They have every right to be.
Yeah.
Team is the whole organization. We thought that the Raiders were in a bad organization. That's what we were calling, is the Raiders having issues. I think that Carolina just found a way to make the Raiders look like freaking top notch.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the thing is, credit to the Raiders for hiring Antonio Pierce while we're on the subject.
He deserved it.
Yeah, well, I was happy about that.
Tepper
Me too.
had this chance to do the same thing last year if he had just had some humility and kept Steve Wilkes. But instead, we had to go and hire Frank Reich, and it just completely killed the season.
Anyways, let's end it there. I got to go post some bets. Bets will be up like around like give me like to 9 Eastern, and I might be going live for some of these games. I'll let you guys know.
Oh, tomorrow?
Not sure, but
yeah, all right. Or post on your story if possible.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, let us know.
All right, everyone have a great week. Thank you guys for coming on.
All right,
all right.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Great one.